So we're looking at a new topic called chemical equilibrium. Now chemical equilibrium means supposing I have a liquid in a container, the molecules in the container are in constant kinetic motion, and in that kinetic motion they are moving from one place to another, and when they come on the surface they start evaporating. If they have enough kinetic energy, they can evaporate out. Now supposing this container was an open container, then these molecules will move out of the container. But if I close this container from top, we will see that the same molecules start condensing inside back into the liquid. So if they are moving, evaporating and condensing at the same time, a stage will come when the rate of evaporation will become equal to the rate of condensation, and that position will be known as equilibrium. Think of it as supposing I have put water in a container. I am putting some water inside at the same speed and taking it out at the same speed. Then the level of this water will remain the same. So I'll say this reaction is in equilibrium. Everything inside here remains the same. Equilibrium can be between, say, ice and water. There is an equilibrium if rate of melting is equal to rate of freezing. So equilibrium can be established in a closed container in any chemical reaction. Now there are so many chemical reactions that you have learned till now. Out of them, there are some reactions which are irreversible reaction, and the others are reversible reactions. If supposing I say silver nitrate is added to sodium chloride, this reaction will take place, silver chloride and sodium nitrate. So my product is silver chloride precipitate plus sodium nitrate is formed. This reaction comes in the category of irreversible reaction. It proceeds only in the forward direction and gets completed. So it comes down to completion. That means when the reactants are exhausted, are used, then the reaction will stop. But the reversible reaction, if supposing I have a reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen, you have learnt in Haber's process last year, gives you ammonia. So that means the reaction is moving in both the directions. That is, reactants are changing into products, products are changing back into reactants. So this is known as a reversible reaction. So in a reversible reaction, reactants change into products and products then again change back into reactants. So such a reaction never comes to completion. That is, it is not getting completed, never comes to completion. Now important thing is that if I do this reaction again in an open container, then ammonia will escape. Then in that case the reversible reaction will not be possible. But if I do a reaction again inside an closed container, I will see I have put nitrogen and hydrogen here. They are changing into ammonia. Ammonia is changing back into nitrogen and hydrogen. So inside a closed container, this reaction will never stop. And when the rate of the forward reaction, this is the forward reaction, will become equal to the backward reaction, equilibrium will be established. Now at equilibrium, this is important to know that at equilibrium, the reactants and the products both will be here. Why? Because when you started the reaction, there was no product. Okay? Look at this. If the reaction started, these are there but there is no product. So rate of the reaction is only depending upon concentration of nitrogen and concentration of hydrogen. Gradually, product will start being made. This will become less. So reaction will start becoming slower on this side and ammonia will start changing into nitrogen and hydrogen. So we are talking of equilibrium at the state of equilibrium, forward reaction and backward reaction have become equal. So some of the reactants have changed into product. So product is here. Some of the product has changed back into nitrogen and hydrogen. So nitrogen and hydrogen are here. So at equilibrium, I will have some of the reactant inside my container, some of the product inside the container. So equilibrium can be established only when the container is a closed container. Otherwise, ammonia will escape from here. You have also learnt in class 10 that during the process of in Haber's process, we were removing ammonia from there immediately by liquefaction, so that this does not change back into nitrogen and hydrogen back. So if I want only ammonia, I'll have to remove it from the site. If I want to establish equilibrium, then in a closed container, only we will start with the reaction. So equilibrium is established in a closed container. Second important thing is, I can start the equilibrium reaction from any side. I can put nitrogen and hydrogen and then have the reaction, ammonia will be formed. I can start my reaction by just putting ammonia here, because it is a reversible reaction, it will change into nitrogen and hydrogen. So in a reversible reaction, when I look at this side of the reaction, this is the reactant, this is the product. When I look at on the backward side of the reaction, this is the reactant and these are the products. So inside a container, if I want to establish equilibrium, firstly the container should be a closed container. Secondly, both ways I can start the reaction from either end. I can start from the product, which will give me the reactant, or I can start from the reactant, which is going to give me the product. We just saw that in a reversible reaction, when the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the backward reaction, we say that it is the stage of equilibrium. So that means both these reactions are taking place simultaneously. So we say that equilibrium is dynamic in nature. The reaction has not stopped. Dynamic means it is moving forward, backward, both. The catalyst. If in a particular reaction, some catalyst is used, you know that in nitrogen plus hydrogen to make ammonia, we were using iron as a catalyst. So the catalyst is going to catalyze the forward reaction as well as the backward reaction equally. So at the stage of equilibrium, the catalyst has no role. The equilibrium will be reached very fast because the catalyst is going to speed up the reaction. It is going to speed up this reaction, both the reactions equally. So equilibrium state will come very fast, but it is not going to change the amount of the product. It is not going to change the amount of the reactant. So the catalyst will bring the equilibrium faster, otherwise it has no role. Now look at the law of equilibrium. We say, supposing I have a reaction A plus B gives C plus D, small a, B, C, D means the ratios that I am writing, the number before the compound that we write. Supposing this is the reaction. Now we always say that the rate of reaction depends upon the reactants. These are the reactants. So rate of reaction depends upon the reactants and it depends upon the active masses. Now what is active mass? Whenever we have the reactants, all the reactants do not change into the products. Only those reactants change into the product, the reactants, molecules which have enough energy. So that is why we see that all reactions do not take place at room temperature. We need to apply some energy to them. So all those reactant molecules which are active to make the product are known as active mass. So now I am saying that the rate of forward reaction is proportional to the amount of the reactants. And when we want to know the amount of the reactant, we call it as concentration of the reactant to the power of whatever number is written here. So if I want to write down in this case, I'll say rate of reaction is proportional to nitrogen is proportional to hydrogen to the power 3, because 3 is before the compound. So these are known as stoichiometric ratios. So I'll say rate of forward reaction is directly proportional to the product of masses. Product means multiplication of masses, which with each concentration term raised to the power of its stoichiometric ratio. Understand? So we will say rate of forward reaction is proportional to the concentration. There are two substances here, so I have taken both of them, to the product of the reactants with each concentration term raised to the power of its stoichiometric ratio. So rate of forward reaction is proportional to A to the power A and B to the power B. Similarly, rate of backward reaction is proportional to C to the power C and D to the power D. If I want to remove the sign of proportionality, I should write it and make it equal. I'll have to take a constant here. So I've taken Kf. Kf is forward direction. In this case, Kb as backward direction. Now at equilibrium, you know, rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. So I can write the same thing in this way. I can say Kf upon Kb if I bring this back lower here. Kf upon Kb is equal to cross multiply C to the power C, D to the power D upon A to the power A, B to the power B. This can also be known as equilibrium constant. Kf upon Kb is known as equilibrium constant. So we say Kc is equilibrium constant, which is equal to multiplication of products upon multiplication of reactants. Products upon reactants.